What's up, YuGiTube? My name's Alex, aka some of you guys might know me as Intch95. I'm here on Spore Horror 69's channel. He asked me to do a deck profile of a Therio deck, assuming Satoshi Kato's list is true. This is just a rough draft that I've been working with the past 2 to 3 days since people actually finally believe that list, because people didn't believe it at my locals a couple weeks ago. So Satoshi Kato's list is the plant deck or whatever. You guys know what it is. It's the one with Tour Guide to 2 and all the, spores back and all that stuff. So I've been working on a Therio plant deck list. I'm using Sam Jones's theory of using 45 cards first, and then just cutting stuff. Like, this is just a skeleton of what could potentially work. Right now it's actually 42 cards. If you guys look on my DN, it's actually 42 cards right here with the extra deck, but here's like all the stuff like Mirror Forces, Bottomless is like, in this version I didn't even main deck Bottomless. In this version I am, along with the Call Haunted. So it's 45 cards in here, but again, it's a skeleton and it's Therio, so I want to know what you guys here think about plants. Do you think they have potential on that list? Because I'm pretty sure that's the list. If it's not, then it's a Therio list. It's something fun to try. So I'm going to just go through the list and do it as fast as possible. Not as fast as possible, so I could just get on. So hopefully after this, you guys should give this video a like and go like Spore's video. Give him some thumbs up. I run BLS and Soric, one of each, because one of them it's down to 1 Soric on the thing, so boss monsters. Caius, just 1. I hate tributing, but the mechanic is still good for Caius. It gets you out of your own like shitty locks. By the way, I'm proxying like 2 or 3 cards. Not in the main, and there's like 1 in the main. 2 tour guides. This is supposed to be a tour bus. It's great. It acts like a mini pot of avarice. I actually like it a lot over Night Assailant. Like, if I had flip effect monsters in here, I'd run Night Assailant, but I don't run any, and I don't really like milling, so and then Sangan, so Turbus Sangan. Your ideal play is going Turbus or Tour Guide Sangan, and then either making Leviathan, detaching Tour Guide, or just making Zen mains and sitting on that, and then detaching the Tour Guide first, putting the Tour Guide back. So don't really get Sangan first unless you have to, because it's just gonna be like a regular recruiter. You want to save these for power plays as much as possible. Just like Debris Dragon, you have quite a lot of targets in this deck. I'll tell you guys the main issue with this deck. I didn't really bother. Sorry, I didn't bother like really hollowing it out or foreigning it out. I just made this like on the spot from my Dueling Network deck list. But 2 Debris Dragons, he's huge and you can exceed with him, which I love. Ugly Lone Fire to fetch you your Dandy or your Spore. We don't have Glow Up Bulb, sadly, which again, that's the main problem with this deck. I run Titanial. Because I find a lot of my problems is like when I draw like Foolish Burial or any of that other stuff and I have great plays with this deck. The problem with plants right now, even under this list, is yes, they're somewhat playable. They're lightweight or try-hard deck. And the reason I say that is, without Glow Up Bulb, it's so much tougher to go Tech Genis, Hyper Librarian, and then Formula Synchron. You can go Formula Synchron and then Librarian, but it's not like what the deck used to be, because back then you were able to get that extra +1 off the Librarian, when you Synchro or whatever into Formula. And, Spore, it's not enough. The fact you have to, like, let's say you have a Dandy token, the fact that you have to have, like, Librarian prior to that, then you have to summon this, and then make, Formula or whatever, you can't, like, even then, you have to have a Librarian. So basically, like, you need, like, a Reborn or whatever. Let's say you have a Dandelion and this in hand and, like, a Reborn, maybe. Like, if you could do some plays with that, and let's say you have, like, I don't know, let's say you had a Effect Veiler or something, or a Max C or something that you could use. Let's say you can use a level 4, do that, and then Foolish Burial, Dandelion, Reborn this back, and then make Formula, and then do it. But it adds, like, it's just not as good without that play. Like, it's still a lot of good plays, but it's slower to that extent. And I'm trying it without the Tengus. I will try the Tengu version again. I just drew them a lot when I ran them. That's really the only way you can make Librarian first and then the Spore. Titanio, great. It's just defense. I actually think it has a lot of potential in a slowed down format where a beat stick could be really, really successful in running their shit over, and you can create a lot of locks with this card, so I really like it. I think Thundercrane is another card that has a lot of potential next format if we're going by Satoshi Kato's list. It just mitigates a lot of the plays that other decks can open up, the Searcher Power. Heroes lost some searching, with Hero Lives and or not Hero Lives, but like Pot of Duality and E-Call and Stratos. So this hurts a lot of decks. Synchroing and Exceeding. Synchroing, it could come back maybe a little bit, not too much, because Exceeds are still retardedly broken. But this it's another light as well for BLS plus Sork, and it's a huge beat stick because Rabbit's really going to be like the only main threat beside Chaos Dragons, because people are thinking Chaos Dragons are dead without Future Fusion and Red MD to 1, but they can just search it and they still have their milling. They only lost a Tour Guide and a Sork aside from that, so now they can just run like other milling and maybe like a Sarko or something, something random or something just to speed their deck up more. So Thunder King mitigates a lot of those plays, which I really like. I run 2 Reapers. I think this card is really good at the start of a lot of formats that are undefined. So I like this card a lot. You can get pokes, you can bring it back with Debris Dragon. It's a huge wall that just a lot of decks struggle to get over, and you can get really cheap pluses with it. And it works really well. Obviously, it's level 3. You can know a lot of the levels in here, they can use in conjunction with each other. But as well as like Snowman Eater, he's great because according to that list, Tsukiyomi is back, and you can use Tsukiyomi to put your snowman's face down and abuse the shit out of him. And, you know, great plays are just simply going, you know, set Snowman, they attack and do it, take damage. You go Summon Reaper, do damage, and then you can overlay for whatever, you know. And then there's just a lot of plays. You can do Leviars, you can do a lot of those other plays. And you can abuse Tsukiyomi with the Snowman, which, you know, I even love it when people have to, Veiler my Snowman Eater, like let's say I had it set and I flip it and they Veiler it, and then I go Tsukiyomi. That's like the best feeling in the world. I promise you guys, that's the best feeling in the world. And then this bounces back, so Tsukiyomi's back on the list, which I like. You could do a lot of good plays with it. 3 Veilers. I run a lot of hand traps. I'll show you guys some other cards I'm testing, but 3 Veilers, pretty standard. Just 1 Max C. I don't have the space for the second one. I would just side deck the second one. And Gores. Spells are pretty standard. Torishtis, I don't know how to say it. Foolish Burial, Avarice, Scapegoat opens up a lot of plays. This opens a lot of the TGHL formula plays that were mitigated. That's why I think Scapegoat should be good again. In Therio, like again, this is Therio, and it opens up a lot of Exceed and Synchro plays with Econs. So I think you can make your little shooting Quasar, or not shooting Quasar, but shooting Star Dragons, and a lot of those other Synchros and Exceeds. So I think there's a lot of great plays you could do there. Book of Moon, Mind Control, Monster Reborn, Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, and I only run 2 MSTs. I'm side decking the third one right now just because of space issues. And again, this is just a skeleton for Therio of what could potentially the deck could look like next format. And then the traps are the Solemn Brigade, obviously 3 Solemns. I'm running 2 Bottomless. I really don't like this because I've been playing a lot against like Plant Mirrors and a couple other decks like Rabbit. It's good against, which I think you have to run these. Like my friend was arguing why you shouldn't. It's just because of spacing issues, really. Like, I mean, I guess in theory, I guess you could cut the Call of the Haunted in these for like a Mirror Force or whatever, but Bottomless is just too good. You still have to run it next format. I mean, it can change depending on what decks like are good, but Rabbit still be good because you know they only lost a Rabbit. They only lost a Rabbit and a Tour Guide, and they can replace it with like a Tour Bus and like a Gold Sark if they wanted to. So it doesn't hurt them. Their boss monster's still at 2, so they don't really care, you know. 2 Torrentials, pretty obvious, and 1 Call of the Haunted. I added this recently in as a change, just 1, just because it acts like a mini Reborn. Again, it opens up the formula TGHL plays when you want to do your explosive plays and when you want to abuse the shit out of Lone Fire and do the Titanio plays, you know, bring the thing out, go Titanio, and just there's a lot of Leviar plays you could do with this, and you know, it's a great card. It baits out a lot of good stuff. Like I love it when it baits out back rows or monsters that destroy this shit. So like even people if they just go like Dark Hole or whatever, or you know, Dark Hole or Heavy Storm, I could chain it and get my Sangan or Tour Bus thing or Dandelion even. So a lot of cool plays with that. The extra deck is definitely not done by far. There's actually a couple proxies in here. We're running Stephen A. Smith and Kobe Bryant. Obviously, we have to run them. They're too good. Just some tokens, obviously. Stupid tokens. Again, the extra deck is not done by far. It's still in testing, so I'm just going to run through it, like the stuff that could ideally be in here. When you're testing out a deck for a new format or decks that are Therio, you have to add more cards in that, and then you see progressively when you keep testing what cards you'd want to cut, what cards aren't as used frequently. I mean, there's some cards that obviously are completely situational and don't necessarily work in the deck. Like, there was a couple of situations where I wanted Acid Golem, but this card could be cut potentially. And the 4 Exceeds that I pretty much brought out every time were Utopia, if I needed a level 4, because you need at least 1 because of Thunder King and Tsukiyomi, and Mind Control and Econ. Zen Mains, Leviar, and Leviathan. And there were scenarios where I needed 2 Zen Mains or 2 Leviars, so there's a lot of scenarios like that, but you need the Leviathan for sure, so you need those. We run the Formula, the Armory Arm, Catastor, which, it's good, but if you had to cut it, I would, you know, if I had to. This is supposed to be a TGHL, Tech Genus Hyper Librarian. I don't know where I put mine. Like, I'm sorry, the proxies. Yeah, I'm just going to show you guys on here. Tech Genius Hyper Librarian, that's supposed to be that, and then the next card is supposed to be not Black Rose. This is supposed to be an Orient Dragon. I'm too lazy to look for mine, so Orient Dragon, you use it because of Debris plays. With like Max C and stuff, there's a couple Debris Dragon scenarios where you need to make Orient Dragon, so you need that. You need at least one level 6, obviously, and I don't have the space for Gaia. Run Gunganir. That is another reason. That's another reason why we run the Snowman Eaters. It opens up a lot of Gunganir plays with Debris Dragon. You can just go Debris Dragon, bait out the stuff or whatever. Bring this out. Like, let's say you already baited out their Veilers. You would do the initial play, and then you could make Gunganir, and you could set up plays with like Dandelion, discard stuff, set up for BLS or Sork, for Call the Haunted, Reborn plays, discarding stuff, and pop stuff. So, with Bryanag Band, this is a great alternative, like right now, especially with Snowman Eaters and Debris Dragons. And I think this deck obviously could evolve into like the Yusei Hime, or, with Unknown Synchrons, Junk Synchrons and stuff. So it could evolve, definitely. But again, this is just the basis version that I'm trying right now. Ancient Fairy, 1 Black Rose, 1 Stardust, 1 Scrap Dragon, which I never needed to bring out, but I guess you could. And Shooting Star Dragon, you could bring that out a lot. I don't have space for Quasar, definitely. I know I'm not going to have space for that. I'm sure you could find a way to make it. It's just not as easy as like Lavavels in the futures, or Lavavels, I don't know how to say it, but you could make it in the future. So that's the extra deck. Other potential cards, candidates for this deck that I'm definitely, experimenting with, aside from the junk stuff, that I just don't have the room. Like, I don't want to run a 50 card deck like I do sometimes when I'm trolling. Maestroke, obviously. A second Max C, a second Call, a third MST would probably be sided. The 1 to 2 Mirror Forces, because on this list, Mirror Force is at 2. In theory, it has a lot of potential. But again, in like against dragons and stuff, they could stop it. Against Rabbit, which is still going to be good, they could stop it. There's going to be a lot of floater decks now. Third Thunder King, and 2 Tragodias. That was the main thing. It opens up a lot of Synchro and Exceed plays, so I'm going to definitely try to fit Tragodia in here, because you can sit on your hand for so long with this deck and then just drop Tragodia and just have it be really fatal as a wall. Again, just Chaos Dragons and Heretics, which are still pretty good because, yeah, they lost a Red MD. That just mitigates their Gustav loop, but they could still Tragodia and then Red MD and Gustav initially, which is probably going to be pretty rare, but they could still do the play. They can go Atom afterwards, and then they go, Gaia Charger, and then like Exit Beetle, Overlay or whatever, and then they can make Strike Bouncer and just kill you in 1 turn. So that deck still has a lot of plays. So Tragodia, I think, mitigates a lot of those OTK's potentials for next format. So I think Tragodia is going to be it's going to be an important card next format, I think. That's just a hypothesis of mine. Hypotheses, I guess. So that's it. I don't have anything else to say. I'm sorry this was such a long video, but hopefully I gave you some insight on what potentially plants could look like again. It could be the Debris Hime. It could be something along those lines. But yeah, please thumbs up this video. I'd really appreciate it. Again, if you guys don't know who I am, or if you've never seen me, my name's Alex, also known as Intch95 on YouTube. I'm a partner. I'm trying to reach 9,000 subscribers before my birthday, which is August 22nd. Obviously, not that any of you care, because you guys probably don't know me. But I'd really appreciate if you guys gave this video a thumbs up. If not for me, for this video, even if you didn't like it, if it was too long, thumbs it up for Spore Whore. He's a really chill guy. He's in my live stream. I'm actually streaming right now. I'll show you guys. I'm actually streaming right now. You guys can see that. I'm actually streaming. They're all commenting. He said, LOL. Show them my drawing. No, but yeah. For those of you guys that don't know what my channel is like, I have basically everything you could think of. I am a vendor. I have pretty much every card you could ever want or need to get, so you guys can come to me for cards. I have calculator cases, mats, binders. I have a tip series video, how to be a pro player, not literally, but actually tip series is on money making, tricks and stuff on the game, a ton of deck profiles. I have really good connections in the game, with a lot of the top players in this game, whether it be ARG guys, whether it be Texas players, California players. And I live in California, so again, that obviously includes a lot of the connections and whatnot. So I have deck doctors. I can help you guys with your decks, card reviews, future outlooks. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I muted the live stream, so Sporehor can't even hear me until he does this video. So I'm going to upload this video. Please go check out my channel. Hopefully you'll have a link. Let me see if I can find my channel. I know this video is immensely long, but hopefully you guys get something from it. This is my channel. If you guys care, go click an ad on it. That'd be really awesome. I'm at like 8,547 subs right now. Come on, stupid advertisement. Now I know how you guys feel. So yeah, I have a ton of stuff. I have live streams, I have ban list discussions, I have rants, I have deck profiles, I let people post on my channel. I have deck of the months, obviously. A lot of people don't do those anymore. I do them. Binders, you guys can get any cards you want from me. Tips, like I said. Just a ton of stuff, like anything you could ever want on my channel. Calculator cases, anything you guys could ever want. Box openings, I won box tourneys and stuff, regionals, whatever you guys want. So just let me know what you guys want. Go check out my channel, please. I'd really appreciate it. Keep subscribing and thumbs upping Spore Horror's video. Hopefully you'll have the link in one of these corners and in the description to my channel. So go check it out. Please help me reach 9,000 subscribers. I'll do something special. If I can reach 10,000, which is unrealistic, I'll do a really special video, obviously. But I want to reach at least 9,000 by my birthday. So, yeah, Intch95, peace, you guys. Thumbs up this video. Later.